G'day guys, Sim here, and welcome to AFR Season 5 Tier 2 around Monza. Now, leading up to this race, the championship battle's really been heating up. I've been making a lot of mistakes in races, jump starting in Silverstone, a lot of penalties I think in both Hungary and Belgium. And yeah, coming into this race, Stars, or the gap between me and Stars in the championship, is back down to a 10-point gap, which is the smallest that gap has been since pretty much the start of the season. But as you can see, qualifying for this race was wet or into conditions, so not my favourite sort of conditions. See our first lap, not great, slower than the lights, 31.4 I think, or 31.5, so really not good. You'll see the amount of time we gain as we get used to this. Look, straight into turn 1 on our next lap, and on exit we're already almost gaining a second, so we're getting used to the conditions slowly. On our next lap we set fastest lap provisionally of, not quite even, 2 purple sectors, but our final sector was absolutely nowhere, unfortunately. But once again, you'll see. Nice braking into turn 1, gaining a little bit, but on the exit, we got pretty much nothing. We lose a bit of traction, hit the grass, and that's that lap over. So we went back into the pits, we went to go start another one, and nah, we've gone round again. So with 7 minutes to go in qualifying, we're down in 9th place. So this is really not good. Stars comfortably on provisional pole at the moment, but 2 minutes to go, we jump up to 4th place provisionally. So a much better lap, purple middle sector. Same again on the next lap, but not quite good enough to improve. But we're going to stick on for this entire lap because this was my best lap of the session up to this point. So coming into turn 1 and 2, down a couple of hundredths here, really absolutely hammering that curb there on entry, and coming out, you know, a few hundredths up, so nothing miraculous, but you know, a little bit of improvement there. We're looking to make sure that we get up at least onto the second row. Into turn 4, losing a little bit of time, but getting a much better exit, and up nearly 3/10, or over 3/10, sorry, as we head into the Lesmos now. And yeah, honestly very impressed with myself on this lap, to be fair. If I'd had more time, I think I could have even done a better lap, but you know, I'll take what I can get. But yeah, coming out of the second Lesmo now, 4/10 up, so looking to jump up quite significantly at the moment. And end of that second sector, just over 4/10 up, heading through Ascari now. Really nice and smooth and clean through there. Now 4.5 up, losing a little bit of time on exit. Not an ideal run on the exit of Ascari, but overall fairly happy with that. And coming into Parabolica now, maybe going a little bit deep and maybe a little bit hesitant on the power, but still a better exit than previous laps. And as we cross the line, we're 5/10 up, and that's enough. That is enough to get us P3. So a far better position than where we were looking with 7 minutes to go, where we would have probably ended up outside of the top 10. But unfortunately, if we look, Trin unfortunately only qualified P9, so sort of up there by ourselves a bit at the moment, and going to struggle a bit. But getting ready for the start of the race, opted to start on the mediums. The preferred strategy when you get the opportunity is medium to soft, and as we get ready for 5 red lights, away we go, and it's a really clean start. Obviously Stars with his traction with the pad getting a better one, and Jacob on the softs getting a little bit better start as well, but behind us no one, and we've got a virtual safety car before we even reach turn 1. So I believe both Ferraris are out of the race, so sort of mirroring real life a little bit there. And Ferrari just not really performing and just getting a bit unlucky. But at least we get to continue on now. And no real incidents into turn 1, thankfully. So VSC ends and we're on our way. And just, yeah, now it's all about just making sure Stars and Jacob don't get away from us. You see, Stars trying to push away a little bit, but Jacob on those soft compound tyres sort of got him covered at the moment. So as long as we keep in that 1 second gap to Jacob at the moment, we're pretty much set, at least for a while, before we need to actually do anything. Doing our best, you know, to keep within the track limits. Ooh, little bit, not an ideal run through the end of Ascari there. We sort of slid a little bit on exit, but it's alright. It worked out, and we're still there. So heading into Parabolica at the end of lap 1. That gap's a comfortable 5/10. So yeah, pretty comfortable at the moment. Skipping on to lap 4, you see Jacob has actually passed Stars, but we're pretty comfortable. As a safety car gets called out, I can't actually remember what caused that. But yeah, coming onto the restart now, trying to keep it calm. We don't want to do anything stupid like some of our restarts in other races. Tier 1, there's a bit of a mess, so I was expecting Stars to wait for till the very end, but there he goes, a lot sooner than I expected, but I still reacted like fairly decently, I thought. And I'm not under threat from Artemis behind, and yeah, just comfortably behind off that restart, which is yeah, definitely beneficial. Getting a nice clean run through the chicane there, and yeah, not really losing any time. Actually getting a better exit than Stars there, as you can see the delta just dropping down a little bit there. But skipping on, I believe, to lap 10, or the end of lap 10, sorry. Not much has changed. We're in the same position here as we were, but you'll see on this lap, I believe, we're really starting to pressure Stars a bit. You'll see we get a much better run through the chicane there. And, you know, think, well, I might have an opportunity here, but just the overtake there, just couldn't quite get past on the straight there, so just decided to settle back in behind and keep saving some more fuel in ERS. Not getting the cleanest run through the second chicane there, losing a little bit of time, but I'm going to stick on for the rest of this lap, just because I am starting to pressure him a little bit more than previous laps. Not really looking for a way past, but if you know, the opportunity presents itself, then I 100% would have taken it at this point, given, you know, I've got over 3 laps of fuel to play with still. So probably done too good a job of saving that up, but you know, that's fine. But yeah, really just sort of, you know,
this will make up for me missing that DRS train.
Trying to be a bit bigger in the mirrors over these next few laps, I think. See, getting a very nice run out of Parabolica here. Artemis dropping back a couple of tenths there as well, so that's how good our run was there. And this time we've turned on overtake really early here. DRS, rich fuel, turned overtake back off here, but I had to turn it back on just to make sure we got past. And absolutely slamming the brakes on here, making the corner very nicely. Going a little bit wide, losing a bit of traction there. Yeah, sort of squeezed Stars a little bit, but a bit unlucky there. But Stars actually, because of that, loses the position to Artemis there, and the two of them are going to be battling into the next chicane. So in my mind, this was my opportunity to try and pull out of that 1 second gap right now. So now I am absolutely pushing, although I have dropped down into lean for the Lesmos, just for a bit of security. That gap is out to 9 tenths, and on exit here now, overtake, rich mix, trying to do everything I can to pull that gap out, but skipping on, nothing I could do. That gap was still 4 tenths, so VSC, we're going to fast forward through all this, because, you know, nothing really happens under a VSC, but yeah, just, you know, so far this race is going decently, but VSC ending, going through Parabolica, trying to get the jump on Stars, overtake on, and we get the absolute biggest slide on the AstroTurf there. Look at my correction here. This is an incident that 7 out of 10 times that's the end of your race, and I have no, like, listen in, I have no idea how I saved that. But that's now given Stars the opportunity into turn 1. You'll see we have a bit of a contact here. That's probably fair, given I did squeeze him a bit on exit a few laps ago. But we now lose the position to Artemis as well. So we've been shaken a little bit by that incident, and yeah, we've got to just, you know, try and regain our bearings. But There it is, the first time penalty. And I was fuming, and then coming through the first Lesmo, we ate a bunch of curb, and we're round, but somehow I managed to keep the front of the car off the wall and save my wing. I still do not know how I managed to do that. But
keeping my DRS confidence outside of theirs.
yeah, now look at the time penalties. I have 3 seconds. Trin has none, and Stars I know is the only other person with none. So in my mind, as Trin now goes into the pits, I'm thinking, well, I don't think I have a chance to win this race anymore, but Trin still does, and he hasn't won a race yet. So, as we come out of the pits now on soft tyres, I think we come out just behind Trin. Not much of a gap difference with the undercut and overcut there, so that's good. So we're encouraging Trin now to really chase Stars down, because those two are really the only ones at the moment that are in contention for this race. I don't think either Jackson or Artemis or I could pull out that 3 second gap to get the win over Stars and Trin. So over the next few laps, you'll see, as we try and cut through the traffic, Trin is pushing really hard to hit that gap. I'm sort of just trying to focus on making sure I don't get involved in any other incidents. You'll see, held up a little bit here by Mickey on the alternate strategy, but nothing we can do there. Getting on reach and overtake it as soon as we get out of the second Lesmo. Really pushing for that gap again. Soon we'll have to get past Skins as well in front, but you'll see that gap to Trin now is 1.3 seconds, so he's really pushing and getting through this traffic really cleanly to chase after Stars again. As we're sort of just, doing the best we can to close in. We're coming on the back of Skins now though, so we should get this move done relatively easily as well, hopefully. And you'll see as we get out of Parabolica, we turn on overtake, but it wasn't really that necessary. DRS, but relatively easy move on some of the alternate strategy runners, and that's actually brought us back into DRS range of Trin now as we absolutely butcher the turns 1 and 2 there, went in way too deep, but we've got the move done. So now on lap 22, the strategy starts playing itself. I have a penalty, Trin doesn't, and we decide to switch so I can push to drag him back up. I don't think I have an opportunity to win this race. He still does, so I thought, let's go for it. So pushing really hard over this entire lap now. You see the gap is currently 1.4 seconds to Artemis, 2.4 to Stars. So if we can drag Trin up into that gap, Trin can win this race very, very easily. So we're pushing really hard over this lap to bring it back. Now 1.2 seconds to Artemis. So, I am absolutely flying at this point, using all of my fuel if I can, pretty much all of my overtake, maximizing the exit of every corner right now. We had a green first sector, and I believe on this sector as well, it's a green middle. So absolutely flying, taking a warning and another 3 second penalty. Like I said, in my mind, didn't care about that. Absolutely just pushing to bring Trin back up, and at the moment he's in that 3 second gap. And that's all he needs, really, for this win if he keeps it clean. So, yeah, just the pace I'm showing right now, absolutely insane. Not quite in DRS range yet, but still absolutely flying on these few laps. But unfortunately, as we get into this chicane now, I take it very nicely, but Trin gets his penalty. So, we can still catch him. In our efforts to bring him back up, I sort of wasted my own opportunity for a win, and you'll hear now, Stars also has a 3 second penalty now, so myself on a 6 second is,
keep up, you got this.
not. I sort of threw it away trying to get Trin a win as well. So I still had the opportunity really at that point, but I decided not to. But lap 23, we've caught up to Pondon. Pondon actually pitted really early, I believe, under that first safety car onto the medium, so sort of overcut a lot of people. As we come into the chicane here, I brake way too late and just tap him in the rear a little bit. And obviously I didn't want to take the position, but because of that, that's really compromised both of us, and we lose a bunch of time.
Don't think
to Stars and Artemis in
Bond's gonna
front.
fight me
So
for that now, though.
really,
He's got more straight line than me. What the
a
hell?
huge mistake by me on that one. So going for the move again into this chicane, not quite far enough up, and fair enough the way he defended. That's honestly beautiful defending by him. I'll give him that. But thankfully we get the move done relatively easily a little bit later. Heading up to Ascari. Unfortunately, Trin can't get past there, but I think he gets past on the front straight a little bit later. But
I'm gonna chase these two.
now, skipping ahead to the final lap, you'll see we've gotten back into DRS range of Artemis and Stars, but we're 3 seconds. We've got an extra 3 seconds on Stars. We will get the position on Artemis, but 6 seconds versus 3 seconds, there's nothing we can do in terms of Stars, but we are still pushing as much as we can to try and get that position on track at the very least. Trin also, I think now 2 seconds back, just couldn't quite stick to the back of me through traffic, which a little bit unfortunate, but he's still going to get that position on me, so yeah. But anyway, through the Lesmos, we've caught right up to the back of Stars. Artemis, I don't think at this point is particularly pushing through these corners. He knows he's already sort of lost it on penalties and really just wants to win on track. Same I want to do to Stars. I want to beat him on track here, but we're just not close enough to be able to do anything about it. We're pushing as hard as we possibly can here, but we've got pretty much no ARS, plenty of fuel, but just not close enough to go for a move into Parabolica, and I just won't be able to get a good enough exit. You can hear Trin really frustrated. He knew he had a possibility for a win here as well if he just kept it a bit clean, as I did as well, but another win for Stars. I think that's 4 in a row. Another podium for me, this time 3rd though, so I think that now means in the championship standing, Stars finally for the first time since round 2, I think, overtakes me, or round 3 potentially. Stars overtakes me in the championship and leads it by 1 point. So yeah, I've got to lift my game basically. The pace has been there. I just haven't kept it clean enough. I've had too many penalties the last 4 races, and that's cost me some valuable points. So hopefully in the next race at Singapore, we can keep it clean and get it done. But if you did enjoy, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Follow me on Twitch if you want to catch me live. And if you did enjoy, hopefully we see you around for a few more videos in the future. But thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you around next time.